Hey guys, Deirdre here, all things art and books. How you doing? Well, this is Jazz, and this photograph was taken when he was just 10 weeks old. He's just over 2 years old now, and he's such a wee character, and he's such a handful still, but he's such a character and such a lovable wee cat. Anyway, I decided this week I was going to do a little study of just a miniature drawing of his eye. And it was interesting to me as I was doing it, because as I started to draw it, it just felt like a generic cat's eye. But the more I did it and the more I studied the photograph and the more I was getting all the little marks and all the little intricacies of his eye, it actually started to become his eye come to life on the I'm going to say page, but it's not much bigger than a postage stamp, come to life. And that was just lovely to do that. But now I look at that, because I know him, and I know that that's his eye, it's not any other cat. So anyway, enjoy the time lapse, guys. Okay guys, just starting here with a very light pencil. It's the 2H in the set, which is the lightest pencil in that Faber Castell 9000 series, and it's just getting a very light outline. You don't want to go too dark at this time until you get the outline down, and just start to build up the tones very gradually. So I'm using very light pressure, still using the lightest pencil at this stage, because you just don't want to go too dark too soon. I'm just going very lightly, layer upon layer upon layer. It's always a layering process, and it's really worth taking the time and effort to just build up the contrast, build up the tones very gradually. So I've moved on to a darker pencil now. I think it was a 2B at this stage. I went from a 2H to a 2B. So it's quite a bit darker, but still not as dark as the most dark pencils in the set. So just going that little bit darker and still very light pressure and building up the tones. Starting to put a little bit of fur detail around the outside, but still keeping my pressure very light. So after adding some fur detail here, I've moved on to a 4B pencil. So again, just gradually building up the darkness, using a softer pencil each time, increasing the contrast, making the shadows even darker, just to get, never ever be afraid of contrast. That's actually where a lot of people go wrong, and that's why their pictures are too flat. Make sure your darks are really dark as you can get them, and your lights as light as you can get them. And then of course have your tones in between. But it's so important to get your darks dark and your lights light. It's the only way you're going to get realism. If of course realism is what you're going for. But it's so important to get depth in your pictures as well. So get your lights really light and your darks as dark as you can. And just finished off with an 8B. And there we go, Jazz's eye.